Today we are going to discuss the important topic in biomedical instrumentation, that is protection against shock. So the learning objective of today class is that first we will be understanding what is shock and what is the hazardous of this particular shock, and what are the different protection methods are there. And here out of different protection method, we are going to focus the five basic protection approaches which is commonly used in the hospitals. And also we will be more focused into safety standards and systems, how we are going to apply and what are the different safety standards are there. And also we will be discussing few design protection for biomedical equipments. And finally we end up with a safety compliance, how to evaluate the safety compliance of every each and every medical devices. So before getting into this topic, we need to understand why this particular topic is needed, why this matters so. What is the problem and what actually is needed and how we can give the solution. So the problem is that we already know the electric shock is very dangerous. It will cause a severe injury and it will end up with death also. So the need is that we have to understand what are the things or the protection methods which is very much needed or critical to avoid or to limit this leakage current. So that is the reason, as a solution, we have implemented or we have designed so many protection methods or protection approaches against this kind of shock. That is the reason we have brought this particular topic here to discuss what are the different different protection methods are there to avoid or to prevent the electric shock. So thereby we can overcome the injuries given by this different kind of shock. So the empathy is we have to understand what is the usual risk. The defined we have already defined the problem, that we have to identify why the shock is happening, how this shock is happening, and as a solution we are going to implement like different protection approach, like what are the different protection methods like proper grounding, earthing, and insulation, so on, so to control the shock scenarios. So let me move on to the different methods. The first method is that insulation and barrier methods. Okay, this is the method. It is very simple thing, because you already know what is the insulation. It will the insulation is like covers which it will covers the live parts. It gives current leakage current escaping from the live wire. Okay, so and also the barrier means it will give some kind of blockage, so it avoid or it prevent the accidental touch of live wires. So these are the two difference, the insulation and barriers. So barriers will prevent the accidental touch of electrical wires, and the insulation have some sort of windings around the live wires, thereby the leakage current is prevented from touching by the other materials. So this is the picture I have given for pictorial representation. And second method is like earthing and grounding. So you know already earthing. So the we have the thing is that the current will always follows the low resistant path, right? So by creating the low resistant path, we will prevent the current leakage current from passing into the body. So this is the thing, we have proper earthing and grounding. So the safest path, we will allow all the fault current to the earth instead of passing into the body. So automatic circuit break is there, and we have touch voltage which will reduce the risk. So will be highly used in the medical cases. And the next method is that residual current device, RCD. So this will detect the imbalance between live and neutral wire, the imbalance current, that is imbalance fluctuation between live and neutral wires. So whenever it detects these minimal in fluctuation, for example like 3 milliampere or something, it will immediately gives the fast strip. It will disconnect the circuit, that way the leakage current will it prevent the leakage current from reaching the patient. So this is very sensitivity, typically 30 milliamperes. And we can have a door, it protects the direct contact, like in terms of protection against the shock. So the next method is SELV and PELV method, that is the separated extra low voltage or protected extra low voltage. So low voltage example below 50 volt AC, or it gives like giving protections, and it will isolate it from the earth. And these are things which again it will detect diagnose the any imbalance between live and neutrals. Immediately it will use a fast strip. It will disconnect the mains from the patient circuit. So thereby, whatever the faulty current is there from the mains, it will not go to the patient. That also one kind of protection method. Here we follows the SELV and the PALV systems. So here in this class we have discussed the four different protection methods, right? Based on this, here I have shared a very small student activity video. Think pair share. Later you can see here it will be useful for the students to have interaction during the class at the end of this topic. And we have the assessment question later this topic. Later you can go through this. And finally, summary of this topic is that here we have discussed what is the reason for the person once get shock, and what are the different hazards which leads I mean, what are the different hazards will given by the shock. And also the main important is we have clear discussion of protection methods. Here we have simply covered four types, that is proper grounding and earthing, and insulation and barriers, and then RCD, and final one is like low voltage and a protected low voltage. So few protection methods we have covered. Thank you.